into them. Well, both teams, Sleepy St. Mary's 3-0 coming into this one. Madelia, Truman, or I should say just Madelia, is 1-2. I do believe. I forgot what happened. I forgot to ask them about that Lanesboro game. So it should be an interesting matchup. Our keys to the game. Both teams like to run the football. Adjustments could be one of the keys to the game.
Adjustments obviously will be a key to the game, but probably the biggest thing that I think is going to be the key to the game, especially in the first quarter and maybe half of the second, is how well these youngsters process the heat, both mentally and physically.
Coyote Hill Burners of New Ulm. We heard back at the studio when we were waiting to come on the air, it was like 89. So it's up and down, up and down, up and down. So who knows? The dew point they said was going down a little bit. It's cloudy. It's clouded over, and there is, you know what? The breeze does help. It's out of the south. So we're going to have a crosswind here. The field is east-west. So should be an interesting matchup. We got the Blackhawks and the Knights. And once again, we have a team with black jerseys, which is almost impossible to see the numbers. And that's going to be hard. Like we've had all kinds of trouble over the last couple of years with teams with those black jerseys and just cannot see their numbers. Orange numerals, black pants, orange striped black helmets, and orange numerals, which are impossible to see. And we don't have any light in here either, so that'll be more interesting. Sleepy Eye in their white jerseys, green numerals, gold pants and gold helmets and green numerals. And it looks like we're ready to start action. Should be an interesting matchup. Once again, our keys to the game were brought to you by Madelia Motors, Christ Dodge, Jeep, and Ram and Kawasaki dealer, South Broadway, Yum. And our temperature was 91, approximately 91 degrees here in Madelia. Brought to you by Coyote Hill Burners of New Ulm. We're ready to start action here on San 107.3 KNUJ.net. The Blackhawks are going to be kicking from right to left. That means, and it's a crosswind, so I don't know what it meant. It's a strong crosswind too, so we'll see what effect it has on the kicking game here this evening.
When you look into the west end zone at the flag, where the flag is located, that flag is totally unfurled. There's a substantial breeze blowing, and it's blowing out of the south, like Doug said, and it will be a factor to a certain degree, probably more so in punts and kickoffs. As we said, both of these teams like to run, grind things out, and keep that ball on the ground, and so maybe it may not be a factor. There's a kickoff. Ball's kicked down to about the 15-yard line, picked up by,
not sure who it was. It's across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Not sure who actually, there's three players back there. Number 24.
Running the ball back was Luke Miller, tackled by Josh Sleto.
It'll be at the quarterback, Nick Labatt. He's the sophomore at 165. The running backs, you'll see a lot of different ones. Iverson will be at 180. He's a senior. Luke Miller, number 21, he's 150. He's a senior. If the line of scrimmage they come. They do have one injury we'll talk about here in just a second. In the shotgun, which they will be most of the game. Two receivers to the left side and waiting for the snap from center. Hand off up the middle to Miller, I do believe, across the 35, across down close to the 40, 41-yard line. Gain of about close to 8 or 9 on the play. Offensive line, Dominic Kelkid, number 64, 215 at center.
And ball was Luke
and the
Miller.
right side at left side at 185 senior. Dalton Meyer, the right side, 270. He's a sophomore. Those are the two guards. The receivers, Brandon Waite. He's a 185 senior. Andrew Sanchez had 4 touchdowns the other day. He learned the ball some, too. He's number 175. Handoff, taking himself across the 45, across the 50, down close to the 45-yard line. Nick Labatt, I think, it took it himself that time, Ron. And they're already in the territory of the Blackhawks.
Ball is run by Nick Labatt, tackled by Josh Sleto.
For the Knights.
nice running lane created for Nick Labatt that time by Dalton Meyer, number 54, pulling from his right guard spot to the left, got a nice seal block on that defensive end and created a nice lane for Nick to run into and pick up that first down.
Receiver far to the right side this time. Labatt, of course, sophomore, he is in the shotgun hand. He took it to himself right behind Miller this time. He's going to get maybe a yard across the 45 to about the 44-yard line. He faked it to Miller.
Nice tackle, Andrew!
The offensive right side. They do have one injury. The DN, he'll be out for a couple weeks anyway. Coach Kutcherov was telling me he's a sophomore. Andrew, they'll do it by kind of like it sound like a little bit by committee. From that other side, and Andrew Knight was one of them. He's a 230, and he's a junior. Wide left this time. Ball at the 44-yard line. Hand off right up the middle. Good. Up to about a 5-yard gain. Sanchez, the ball carrier that time. And he'll have a lot of carries also. He listed as
Ball was run by Hendrick Sanchez, tackled by Josh Sletta.
That time coming right out of the backfield and nothing overly fancy, just straight ahead. He was the lone setback in the backfield, diving into about, looked like to be the 2-hole, maybe just a little bit outside of it, and picked up nice yardage, 4 or 5 yards, and, leaving it now with about a 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 at the 41-yard line. Labatt marking signals about 5 steps behind the line. Big hold of Sanchez across the 35, across the 30, to the 25, the 20, down the sideline. He's knocked it about somewhere around the 15-yard line. They're going to move. They're going to spot him. He stepped out somewhere right around the 20, I do believe. Another first down by Sanchez. This direction that time, Ron. 1st and 10 once again for the Knights at the Blackhawk 20-yard line.
And that time handing off to Sanchez, who lined up on the, again in the lone setback in the backfield, but Carter Iverson as also a setback, a wingback, and we made a nice block on the outside, giving Sanchez a nice lane to run in.
And handoff to Sanchez once again, and one of those big linemen for Madelia. I'm sorry about that.
I'm squinting. I think I got it. Hang on, I got to check it against the
60 something.
Looks
maybe.
Like 64.
That would have been my guess. Derek
Fischel.
Yeah, he's a.
They don't have it listed, but he's a big kid.
Yeah, they don't list their weights here. And he's one of the starting defensive linemen. So no gain on the play. And a handoff once again. Labatt takes it himself. And down he goes once again for hardly no gain on the play.
Ball was run by Nick Labatt, tackled by Josh Sletta.
Eldridge, Undy, and Fischau. Linebackers Andrusen, Sletta, and Heinrich. At least that's what they showed. That stop
that time was the middle linebacker came up and filled nicely, and I think that would be number 88, Josh Sletta.
Yeah, here's one of the running backs too. So it's 3rd down at about 9. Once again now, Madelia trying to dig in here. Back to pass as Labatt looking to the left side, still looking. He's got coverage out there, trying to run the ball now. Breaks a couple tackles, and he's getting down around the 15-yard line. They were looking down the left side, down the corner of the end zone, but they were covered very well that time. And it's going to be spotted at the 16-yard line. So it's going to bring up 4th down and about 7. Now, as the Blackhawks trying to dig in here.
That tackle that time was by, I think it was Luke Hennis. He's the outside linebacker on the right side. Once Labatt tried to move a little bit and float around the backfield, he made a step up and closed whatever lane there was for him to run in.
So 4th down at about 7. Labatt takes it himself, trying to find the outside. He's going to have a first down. He's inside the 10. Oh, maybe it's going to be close, depending where they spot it. I think he's going to have it. If he's inside the 10, I think he has the first down.
Just inside the 10.
Yep,
that's a half a yard.
Yep.
Inside the 10.
Yep, he just got it. Yep, you're right. He just got it. He barely got it. He did a nice job following blockers, Ron, and finding the holes, and he was just barely got about a half yard. So we're in the red zone. Sponsored once again tonight by the Miller-Selner. Your Miller-Selner, Case's largest section of Case United's parts and equipment in the area. And Labatt now hands it off, takes it himself, going to the outside. He's across the line of scrimmage, gets a stiff arm. Can be knocked about. Good pursuit that time by the Blackhawks.
Tackled by Logan Anderson and Luke Hennig.
Just to finish up what we were saying, as well as dedicated service staff for maintenance and repairs of your equipment, Miller-Selner, your local Case IH dealer, Slayton, Bingham Lake, and Sleepy Eye. So the ball spotted right about the 6-yard line. 2nd and goal from about the 6. Up to the center, wide receiver to the right side once again. Labatt now hands it off to Sanchez once again. He powers his way maybe down to about the 4-yard line. So they bring up 3rd down now.
Nothing just straight ahead, moving in that right guard spot, probably in between the 2 and the 4 hole. Picked up a couple yards, so we've got 3rd and
Third and goal from about the 4-yard line. Wait for the snap from center. A little bit high snap. He takes it himself, trying to find himself. There's going to be a flag flying in. Close. Going to be holding on.
Nick the bat with the flag
on either team. Nice opening drive for St. Mary's here. It's going to be a 10-yarder, though. That ball would have been somewhere around the goal line. But it's going to be brought back.
Waiting for the, there it is.
Waiting for the official. Yep, there it is. From the spot of the foul, that's going to be at the 15-yard line. That's for the flag, or at the 5-yard line. That's for the flag. So they're going to mark it back 10. So that should be somewhere around the 15-yard line where they'll have the football. It'll be spotted at the 14-yard line.
So they evidently must take that from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But third down now and goal from the 14-yard line. Sanchez alone back in the backfield. Carter Curran's out to the left side, in the wing way out wide. Wait for the snap to Labatt, and Labatt gets the snap, gives it to Sanchez on the outside, gets his good seal block on the outside, and linebackers come up quickly to make a nice play. It's going to be fourth down and goal somewhere around the field. Offensive left hash mark to be spotted at the 7. So it's fourth and goal from the 7-yard line.
Once again, Dalton Meyer coming from
5:53 mark. St. Mary's first drive gets on the board. 8-0 the score here. With 5:53 left to go here in quarter number 1, we'll be back with the Blackhawk night kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
First Security Bank.
Waiting for a touchdown.
The Scholarship Program has awarded nearly $4 million in scholarships to customers of First Security Bank. First Security Bank wants to be a partner in your financial success as well. So stop in today and open your checking account or get your first loan. First Security Bank, Sleepy Eye, your partner for a successful future. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Go here. Beautiful pass, beautiful drive, Ron. They overcame a penalty, a 10-yard penalty, but they just kind of moved the ball down the field methodically. They only
And it's Sanchez, 142 conversion.
a negative
no
carry on that whole series. Perhaps I think there was 1 2-yard carry, but the rest of them were all in the 4 to 7 yard variety.
Yep, so we're ready for the kickoff now. Kickoff is going to be fielded at about the 20. Looking for some running room, 25. And he retreats a little bit. And Madelia's going to have the ball somewhere around.
Ball was run back by Josh Sletta, tackled by Kyle Fisher and Anthony Helga.
That we were giving it away for Madelia. Will be at quarterback. Will be Logan Anderson. 2 running backs will be Josh Sletta, and he's probably their main back, would be my guess. Luce Hennis is the other back. The center is Derek Fitchow. The 2 guards are Darren Undy and Mario Gomez. 2 tight ends, Seth Andrewster and Benzel. And then the wide receiver is Nick Cherios. So it's shotgun formation, in motion from right to left. And a handoff to the lone back. Got it right across the 35, the 40, the 45, down the sideline, across the 50. A beautiful run that time by Sletta. And he's in St. Mary's territory, so nice misdirection. They put the guy in motion, Ron, and then they gave it to that lone setback Sletta, and I think St. Mary's a little confused.
And really, when you stop and look at these 2 offenses, they are almost mirror images of each other. We're seeing we have the armband thing going on. They're calling the play from the sideline. Everybody checks their armband.
Okay.
We've seen that a time or 2 already.
Yeah. Double receiver right, 1 to the left, quarterback sneak. Our quarterback takes it. That quarterback is Logan Anderson. St. Mary's defense is Dalton Meyer and Nick Ludwig, the tackles. The outside linebackers, Max Eiderscheid and Brandon Waite. And then Wyatt Kraft, he is not in the game. Of course, he's normally back, I'm not sure. Chris Mazik is the other inside linebacker. Sanchez and Miller are the corners. Hand off to Slade.
Ball is on by Josh Sleda, tackled by Kyle Power.
Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Good tackle that time by St. Mary's. That was by Kyle Tower. Nick Labatt's the safety. The two corners are Luke Miller and Andrew Sanchez. And they just go to the line of scrimmage like you said. No huddle.
They had no huddle. They look at their armband. Something comes in from the sidelines.
Yep.
And actually, it takes quite a while for them to get a play started.
Because everybody has to have on their line, their armbands and ready to go. Two receivers, one left and right this time, and back to pass. Said nothing doing. He was going to go back to pass, but I'll tell you.
Tackle was made by Brandon Waite in that side of height.
Back at about the 50-yard line. Oh, man, Brandon Waite was all over that one.
Loss of about 7 yards
on
that play.
Yep.
And the play action part of on the front end of that play probably took a little bit too long because Brandon Waite, of course, has got some pretty good speed and was able to get into that backfield. And he came in from the blind side. The quarterback really had no idea that he was there.
So it's 4th down punting situation from the 40. So somebody's hollering about something over on the sidelines for St. Mary's. High end-over-end kick. Sanchez, he fumbles the football, but he was able to fall back on it. You could see, you could just his eyes
Ball will be covered by
bigger than
Sanchez.
I think, because he's going to get that speed up the middle, and he dropped the football, but he was able to fall back on it. So St. Mary's will have the ball back at still at about their 22-yard line. Beautiful field, Ron.
It is a really
well marked.
And it's everything. And when we get a little time, I got a little information out of one of the assistant coaches. You should see the practice field behind us.
Okay.
There's no window back there, but I got up on the rooftop, and it's pretty.
Labatt in the shotgun like he will be all game. Hand off to Miller going around the sideline trying to get a block. He gets outside, gets about 2 or 3. Good job by the
Ball was run by Luke Miller, tackle made by Nick Burr.
Gained about 3, early second down at 7.
As I said, the practice field behind the press box here, they have 4 fields that are marked out, not full 100-yard fields, but 4 fields that are marked out in 10-yard increments. So he said when the youth football thing is going here in the fall, he said in early fall, he said it's really fun to watch.
Football at its best here in Madelia. Handoff now to Luke Miller across the 30. He's going to have
Luke Miller with the run, tackled by Nick Burr.
Have it up. So that's the first down. So the first drive resulted in a touchdown. We'll see what happens here. First down for St. Mary's. They have the ball at their own 34-yard line. And like I said, the markings are so nice here. You can just see everything is marked. They got all the. It's great.
And they have the 3-foot white sidelines marked, so you can see when they step out of bounds.
Hand off underneath this time to Miller once again.
Followed by Luke Miller, tackled by Luke
42 at the 41-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play that time. Once again, Miller the ball carrier. Right across the 40 at the 41. Gain of about 7. Second down and 3. So just grinding it right out. And that's St. Mary's MO now this year, I think, Ron.
I think they will. And they also enjoy having the ability to do the running back situation by committee.
Yeah.
Because they have a goodly group of running backs.
Second down and 3 now. Snap from center, handoff. And Labatt takes it himself across the 45. We have a first down. Going to be at about the 47-yard line, so another first down.
Ball was run by Nick Labatt, tackled by Josh Sleda.
5 for Sleepy Eye St. Mary's, and another drive just kind of marching down the field, taking the time off the clock. Only 1:58 left to go here in quarter number 1. And like we talked about on the way over, both teams like to run, so this could be a relatively quick game. Labatt now hands it to Miller once again. Short game.
Tackled by Spring Moody.
Nice job, kid! And I just can't make them out.
No.
They're just, you know.
We may have to keep an ear on the PA system.
It's not like last week. We were standing right by the PA last week, kind of. We're not in real close to the PA this time. Second down and 9. Handoff. Labatt takes it himself across the 50 to 45. He breaks the tackle down close to the 42-yard line. Going to be close to another St. Mary first down.
By Nick Labatt. Tackle by
Bears
Jason
has been having better running to the left side of their offensive line, and on that particular play, they it looked like Cole Krunick pulled from the left side of the line of scrimmage, coming off down to the right, made a nice lane for Nick Labatt to cut up in, picked up a first down. We have first down on the 42-yard line.
It's in Madelia territory. Labatt about 5 steps behind the line of scrimmage, 5 yards. Gets it out across to Sanchez, across the 35, across the 30, down the sideline, knocked out of bounds. Somewhere around inside.
Followed by Hendrick Sanchez.
Yeah, they're complaining about
Tackled
our
by
numbers.
Nick
They
Short.
can't even read the numbers on the radio.
So they're just chewing up yardage right now. Ron, good job out front for St. Mary's, and they're just running outside, running inside, doing everything right so far.
Nice chunks of yardage that time. The kick-out block was provided by Nick Ludwig, pulling from the left side of the line of scrimmage and making a nice running lane again for Sanchez.
Hand off once again, this time to Sanchez.
Whether it's a short box regular cab to a long box crew cab, XL to a
Followed by
Ranch,
Hendrick
we have them all.
Sanchez.
We can make
Tackled
a
by
deal
Derek
with
Furshoff.
Backed by a friendly sales staff and an outstanding service department, Chuck Spaeth Ford is your last stop to finding your truck. Chuck Spaeth Ford is located on North Broadway in New Ulm and south on Highway 4 in Sleepy Eye. See you soon at Chuck Spaeth Ford, Big City Selection, Hometown Service.
We're in the red zone, brought to you by Bay Day Boulders. Your carries the largest selection of case and ice parts and equipment in the area, as well dedicated service staff for maintenance and repairs of your equipment. Miller Selner, your local case ice dealer in Sleepy Eye, Bingham Lake, and Slayton. Well, it's first and goal at about 7-yard line, I think, or 8-yard line, I'm going to call it. 8-yard line, hand off the Sanchez.
Ball is done by Nick Labatt. Tackled by Nick Short.
Gets down inside the 5, down around the 2-yard line. Second and goal from about the 2-yard line.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Responded. Second goal at the 2-yard line.
At 0
St.
and
Mary
at
just
8.
2 possessions here, Ron, and just kind of methodically moved the ball down very well down the field.
With nothing fancy, and no penalty assists or anything. It's just been a matter of getting positive yardage on every play.
So second and goal from the 2. Just started quarter number 2. So 8.